It's me, Jane Gardner, and welcome. Today we've been talking about starting a home business for the last couple of series, and I'm continuing on. And we have been talking about, first off, developing the mindset for a business, then defining your vision and what your values will be for your business. And today we're going to talk about the important one, which is picking the right home business for you and your talent. So let's get started. So today it's going to be the 5 steps to starting a home business, which, to remind you, is to identify your target market, create a unique solution, set up your business basics, define your brand, and develop a realistic marketing plan. And right now we're talking about starting your home business, in that we've talked about whether or not you have the mindset to be in home business, defining your vision and your values for your business, and today it's all about picking the right business for you. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jane Gardner, and I work with my husband in our structural engineering firm for the last 20 years, home-based, 24 hours a day. And that's a whole other story, but for now, we'll be talking about you and getting you your home business and picking the right one for you. So today we're going to look at your strengths and add it to your vision and your values from the last module. Clarify your business idea and the revenue you want to be bringing in. So you're building up a clearer picture of yourself and how you will influence your business from the top down. It's important that your business reflects you and it's built the way you want it to be. In this module, we'll talk about the strengths you need to add to your vision and your values from the last module. Then you'll move on to clarify your business idea and the revenue you want to be bringing into your business. So, focus on your strengths and talents. What are you good at? Really good at? What do you find really easy to do? Does your particular expertise match up with your interests? If so, you've already found the perfect niche. So we're going to look at the mechanics of setting up business later, but for now, you should focus on identifying your strengths you already have when it comes to your business practices, or business practices in general. If you've never been in business, of course, then it's going to be difficult for you to know what you need to do. So we're going to be talking about that later. But for now, clarify your business idea. You may not be clear on the details, but you can probably identify the type of activity you want to make a business from. I have another training where we talk about home business ideas offline and online, so you could go have a look at that as well at the Business of At-Home Business. But for now, it's rare that someone suddenly decides to start a business without having any idea about what they want to do. You may have done some research or worked on a prototype, or you tried out a consultancy process. You may have even held a dream of your business from childhood. You may not be clear about the details, but it's likely you can identify the type of activity you want to make a business from. So, write down your business ideas. Use as much detail as you can. If you're struggling, look at the things you love doing and find easy to do. For example, you may find it easy using time-saving systems for planning and organizing. But all you have to do is find those business owners who aren't able to plan and organize, and they need help from someone like you. There's a lot of services out there that people need because they don't have the time or the money in order to do it themselves. So you have to start thinking about, what do you want your business to be? Where are your talents? What are your skills? What do you enjoy? That will make it easier for you to decide on what business idea you want to do. So now that you have an idea on your business idea, you'll be developing as we get closer, of course, to launching. But we'll go and later on also examine its profitability. But for now, you need to determine the revenue you want from your business. That way you can match your lifestyle goals to your potential income. With a revenue target, you decide how much you want your business to earn in a certain period of time. You can then determine how many units you expect to sell and price each individual product or service package accordingly. So let's go through the process for calculating an exact monthly figure. So here we go. So first, you make a list of all your business and personal expenses. Remember to include things like phone and internet, heating, loan repayments, going out to the restaurant. What do you spend every month? Review the list to ensure you've noted everything. Reduce your outgoings when you can by cutting out anything you aren't using right now, like a gym membership or an insurance policy which isn't relevant anymore. Add up your list to get a monthly figure for expenses, and any annual expenses need to be divided by 12. Multiply your monthly figure by 1.3. This gives you a 30% margin to pay tax and make a profit on top of covering your outgoings. If the monthly figure you come up with is much bigger than you thought, don't be too alarmed. Decrease your expenses when you can when you're starting your home business, so then you won't be wasting money. And follow the course to find ways for achieving this figure. So, for example, if you had the dream to have, well, you certainly know what income you make right now, salary for the year. So multiply that by another 30%, or just take an arbitrary figure like $100,000 a year, and let's assume you have $6,000 in expense a month. What's that? 6 times 12 is 72,000. So you want to have a $30,000 income from making $100,000 in revenue. So what would you need in order to make $100,000 in a year? So divide that by 12, and then divide it by weekly if you like. But I think monthly it's about $8,000. So you have to figure out what business you could do. And this is not the first year of the business, of course, but hopefully by the second year of the business, as you get rolling, what business can you do that will make you $8,000 a month in order to be able to work with a business on your own, of course. I mean, if you have your spouse's income is coming in as well, that helps to alleviate the expenses. But for now, just figure out roughly, if you were to make an income of $100,000 and you needed to make by 12, I think it's about $8,000 a month, which, well, we don't need to do it weekly. Obviously, you divide it by 4. What kind of business could you go into that would be able to have that kind of income? Would it be a consultancy business? Would you want to have a business that you sell a product? Then you have to look at pricing your product and everything so you could get a profit from it. These are all the initial things you have to think about. And of course, as I mentioned, the first year is always going to be tough. So you have to consider having some savings in order to get over the first year of working and getting people to know about your business. And then see in your second year, could you make $100,000 a year? And then it could be a viable business, couldn't it? So on my, I have a course called Start Your Own Home Business Step by Step, and in that it has an action guide, but you can just ignore that for now. Right now, write down your business idea and then identify your monthly financial goals. So we went through, first off, figure out what your expenses are, and then what you need to have each month coming in order to cover your expenses plus 30% in taxes you have to give to the government, for example. And work that out as to what kind of viable business could you do that for $100,000 a year, for example. And it doesn't have to, of course, be $100,000 a year if you have other income coming in. So look at all the income that's coming in to your spouse in your, for example, as well as looking at the expenses. So, so this gives you a rough idea. Obviously, it's very rough on figuring out what you enjoy as and that you would like to have as a business. And of course, we'll be looking further at things like identifying your target market. Let's go back to the 5 steps. This is all pre-figuring out what business idea you want. Let's go back to the 5 steps. Here we are. So in the 5 steps, we would be then figuring out what our target market would be and whether or not there's enough of our target market in order to make the income that we want to have. So figuring out what your income is a good step to start figuring out whether or not you can have a business. So let's just say that it's probably a good idea to write those 5 steps down. And then before that, we're going to obviously go and have a look at these various other things beforehand. So let me get my call to action here. It's if you want to learn more about how to turn your business idea into a really viable business today, just go to the link below to find out how. There's a ebook there called The 5 Essentials for Starting a New Business, and step by step. It's by me at http://bohbtips.com/step-by-step, and you can just opt in for that book and it'll be sent to you to start working with. And I also have a community at the Business of At Home Business Community where you can become a founding member for $1 for the month and then $9 monthly at http://bohtips.com/members. You can check that out there, and it gives you more information about the membership, where we can hang out together and start your business with my help. So there you go. Thank you for listening. This is Jane Gardner, and I think next time it's called Identifying Your Target Market and working in that. So hopefully you found this one useful, and then you've got to start looking at what kind of income you want to make, and we'll see you next time.